Survival Street, issue number 1. This is a book I picked up solely because of the cover. I think it was Newsarama / Games Radar was talking to the writer about it. It's like Sesame Street, but apocalyptic. It's the vibe it gave off, and I'm like, oh, yes, please and thank you. I'll put that right into my body. So it's like, yes, let's get into that. I'm so on board for that idea. Something I love is just taking this kind of concept, like puppets, Muppets, just those kind of creations, and twisting a story in a direction where it's like you're doing something with that concept that's different, but also playing with the medium you have. I'm waiting for somebody to find the right niche for that. Thought it was going to be the Happy Time Murders. That was a really shitty movie. Is Survival Street going to be what I'm looking for in this property? Kind of. There are certain things in this book that I like. There are certain things that I'm like, I get it. I think with a different talent, maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. The book is trying to like skewer America in a sense, but it's doing it very like asshole-ish, if that makes sense. It's like, it kind of reminds me of Billionaire Island, which is a book I really liked by Mark Russell, where it's like, look how the elitists of this country are terrible people, that they built an island in the middle of nowhere where they can do whatever they want. It's like, what if America just became like corporately owned and you could literally get away with anything, and if you were like a foreigner, you would just be like sent to camps and shit, like literally pretty much where the world's headed right now, where America is headed right now. That's what it's like. But it's not doing it in like a satirical way with the form of puppets. It's more like it's an idea being presented, and then we're putting that like political idea in here, skewering that like idea of what America is headed towards with the puppets in it, and has like nothing to do with the puppets. So that's kind of like, what are we even doing with that? You get that right away. Because we open up this book with the American flag in all 50 states, and then the American flag, but wait, it's corporately sponsored, and there's like logos instead of stars. How twisted is that? I'm like, that's a funny idea, but do something with it. So then we open up this book. We're on Salutation Street. We see that Irma and Birdie are running down the street with these two human characters. One's Caleb, and the younger kid is kind of upset that Caleb keeps beating him in the race. And then Corporal Fairness comes in, who's, I think, like the Kermit character. He's like, don't worry, he's just older and taller than you. If you guys want to have a fair race, maybe you should just let him have a lead, Caleb. And it's like, that's kind of fun. There's some there where it's like, oh, there's clearly like the parody here, like Irma and Birdie. Bert and Ernie. Like, you get that. Corporal Fairness could be Grover and Kermit. It's up to you how you want to interpret that. But then it's like, oh look, the US government is shutting down the show because it goes against the new immigration laws, because guess what? They're puppets. That shit sucks. And we see that a couple of them try to like go against the wishes, like the Oscar the Grouch one. Tony is like, no, this is bullshit. Tries to fight it, and then puppets become illegal, I guess, because they don't align with like corporate America or something. And we cut to the year 2031. We see that this guy is driving his, was it a Studebaker or Winnebago, one of those kind of things. He's driving it through Florida, and it's like stopped at the border. Everyone's like, hell yeah, American drinks, man. Look at how insane we are. American culture, boom, boom. You can go right in, man. You're not smuggling any foreigners. But as they drive past the border, we see that Corporal Fairness drops a bomb and blows him up. And then we cut to see that Irma is actually a news reporter now. And she's kind of got like, I'm trying to think of the real life person this could represent, like a newscast anchor who is so in the pocket of like the government of the Republicans. Like, who in today's political climate could that be for like the female figure? Because we clearly got like our Tucker Carlson guy as the president. So I'm like, I don't know who that's supposed to be, but it's interesting. Like, that's where I'm like, that's an idea. Putting Irma in that situation is an idea, and I like that idea. That's a fun concept. And we see that, yeah, the president's just a terrible guy, and he's going to have like a fundraiser just to show how terrible he is, because they're auctioning off foreign kids. You know, if you are like undocumented, you're a kid that's going to be auctioned off to the highest bidder because America sucks and we're bad people. I get what you're saying, book. Don't shove it down my throat. And then what's next is just the plan of attack from the extremist group, the Salutation Street Gang. You know, Birdie's leading the operation. We have Mr. Burton, who's our human disguise. He's going to help us get into places. We have Herbert, who is Colonel Fairness. And then we also have, who else do we have here? This team's loaded with some interesting people. Gurgle, who's Animal, and she's kind of like addicted to ice cream, and she's pretty much like the wild card that could go off and ruin stuff. We have Hippie, who's the big hippo guy, and Sweetums, I guess, Snuffleupagus in that kind of spot. And then we have Tony, who's the Oscar the Grouch guy. And look, it's a fun operation. You know, they get into this place, they're going to blow shit up. It looks pretty cool. You just see a couple of them are getting a little crazy. Herbert's just like, I'm going to shoot people and feel nothing towards it. That's a cool idea. You know, they start building bombs. It's pretty interesting. But you see that as soon as Birdie sees that Irma's coming on stage, she's like, oh shit, whose side are you even on? They're stealing kids. Like, what are you doing, Bird? Like, what are you doing, Irma? What side are you really on here? They think everything's going to be going according to plan, but things kind of hit the fan as soon as Gurgle sees that there's going to be ice cream served with the pie, and she loses it, and all hell breaks loose, and everyone starts to realize, oh shit, we're being attacked by these puppets. What are we going to do? Everyone gets into a heavy fire. We see Tony just start throwing Molotovs out while Hippie tries to get the kids out of there. It's insane. It's insane. Birdie gets shot. She might be dead. Gurgle's got to come save her now, and you think everything's going according to plan. It's insane. You just see like Herbert's got like a huge C4 stick strapped to the wall ready to blow everything up. The place starts to flood. You just see everyone's getting out of safety. Hippie breaks through a wall, gets the kids out there safely. The president might be dead. Who's really to say at this point? It's insane. It's insane. And I'm like, it's the good kind of insane though, where you're looking at something that's kind of interesting. And the art really works for this because they're puppets. Let them be exaggerated and creepy. You can get behind like exaggerated faces and stuff. I think that's kind of cool. Really good story elements being played up in here. And then they escape. But you see, because Birdie was shot, she had to escape on her own. And where does she go? She gets into Irma's limousine as she tries to drive away. It's like, wow, you're really on the wrong side of this, babe. And this is where we get the beautiful love story of Bert and Ernie presented between Irma and Birdie. It's like, that's brilliant. It's like, we could have been something special, babe. And you just see Irma's like, well, I can get you back on television. You could preach your message on my network. Like, I can have you come back here and work for me. We can all be together again. And Irma's just kind of like playing all sides. She's like, I don't really care who wins here, but I'm just trying to survive. Like, this world is messed up. I'm trying to survive everything going on. It's insane. And eventually, they do find Birdie again. And they're just like, wow. Mission successful, I guess. We saved the kids, but now we pretty much got outed. Things are going bad for us. I guess we're back on the road to the next mission. And it's like a pretty interesting ending. And I'm like, there's a lot of stuff I like in here. I think like the trying to do the satire isn't working. I just think like, yeah, some of the politics stuff is like so forced and so badly written that I don't love it. But the puppet angles are really good. The puppets are all distinct enough and like satirical enough where they're parodying characters you know. I think that's really cool. That stuff I think is fun. The artwork is very fluid and interesting. The story is creative. It's really interesting. I actually like it. I actually think there's something to like about this. It's kind of creative. A little silly, but, you know, it's puppets. Embrace the chaos. Stick to the satire. Don't get too political. And I know that's like a dumb thing to say, like, don't get too political. Because you're just clearly not good at it. You're a little too honest in what we're seeing America becoming, and that stops being fun. You can't have a hippo charging through a wall, potentially knocking out the president, saving a bunch of kids, and then just be like, but this is the real America. Have some fun with it, okay? Get a little more Mark Russell-y in your writing. It's not bad, though. It's not bad at all. So Survival Street, issue number 1, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, Good luck.